Hello. Welcome back. Or for the first time. I am Sage / Angela, depending on which name you want to use, magic name or given name. Let's see. Trying to make the lighting a bit better. Hi. It is another Witchy Wednesdays. We're going to continue the Pagan Journaling Challenge. Today I am going to be answering questions 14 through 21 of the Pagan Journaling Challenge. Today is the 20th, but just because of the way it's working out, you know, the month doesn't end on a Wednesday, so making that work. As you can see, my house has been rearranged again, my apartment, whatever. Yeah. We did some rearranging before Hurricane Irma, just in case, and once that was over, we rearranged again, and we didn't put things back where they were before, because we like to move stuff around. We like change. We really do. So, I don't know why I just got distracted peeling a sticker off of these earbuds. I get distracted easily. Alright. Hopefully I don't have any lipstick on my teeth, because that has happened before. Let's get started. So, number 14. Are there any courses that I'd like to do in the future? Which ones and why? Now, I'm assuming this is pagan-y type courses, since this is a pagan journaling challenge. So, there are a few actually.
Hey, it's Tess Whitehurst.
Hang on.
And
I really didn't want that to start playing. I pulled up 3 courses I'd like to take in tabs on my computer just so I could tell you a little more about them. The first one is by Tess Whitehurst. She has a website, tesswhitehurst.com, and I'll link all these courses in the description box below in case you're curious. And it is her Divine Resonance Magic course. That is what I would like to take from her. It is 13 different workshops. Or is that? But no, that's the normal Good Vibe Tribe, which I also want to do. Her Divine Resonance includes intuitive counseling. I don't know. It includes a lot of things. Okay, lots of things. And I love Tess. She has such a good, positive energy. I love listening to her. I love watching her. So I definitely want to take her course. So that's Tess's. The next one I have on my list is called the Awakened Soul Mastery course. It is by the Whimsical Arcane. It's only $29 to enroll, US dollars, which is nice. It's basically, sorry, my eye was itching. It's talking about spiritual awakening and finding your soul purpose and that sort of thing. And the last one I have pulled up here, technically there's 2 of them. It's by Vix from New Age Hipster. She actually has 2 courses. She has Woo Woo 101, and then she has Totally Spiritual, which is like the next step. So Woo Woo 101 is more like the beginning one, and while I'm not a beginner, she does talk about like it can also be a good course for people who just kind of want to go back to the basics or want to see a new perspective, things like that, which is one of the reasons I want to do it. There may be things in it I've never heard before. I always like hearing people's perspectives on stuff other than mine. It's always interesting, I feel, to hear someone else's perspective. And I love Vix, again. she just, to me, comes across as really sweet and caring and all of that. And then her second course, Totally Spiritual, is like the next step. So I want to take her courses because I want to see them. I want to see what they're about. I love her. Yeah, I think there's probably some more courses on my list, but I don't know where they are or what they are. I'm sure I'll find more. I would love to take a course in Reiki. I would love to take courses in herbalism, flower healing, crystals, crystal grids, crystal healing. There's a lot of things I'd like to learn. So, number 15. If I were to take a pilgrimage, where would I go and why? I don't think I would take a pilgrimage. And that's sad. Just the older I get, the worse my anxiety gets. Hang on, almost yawned. It's a migraine, pre-migraine symptom, so hopefully I'm not gonna get a migraine today. I got lucky and didn't get one yesterday, so that's a plus. I mean, there are places I'd like to visit, but like maybe if I moved back to Oklahoma where my mom is, I would be more likely. Because one of my concerns about, you know, leaving home for a few days are my 2 cats. And that may sound silly to some people, but my cats are my children. I don't like leaving them because unlike a human child, you can't explain to them what you're doing, how long you're going to be gone, or anything of the sort. So, and that bothers me. And I don't really have anyone here in Florida to like take care of them for me while I'm gone. Like I don't have somebody to come over and, you know, feed them and that kind of thing. If I was back in Oklahoma where my mom is, I know my mom would for me. So, but there are a lot of places I'd like to go. But witchy or pagan related places, I'm interested to go to Salem, and that can be controversial depending on who you talk to, but I've talked to pagans and witches who have gone there, and they say the energy there is just like crazy, and you know, like it's just a really magical feeling place, and I'd like to go to magical places. So alright, hang on, I tried having like a little cell phone ring light thing to give some more light, but it's worthless. It died already. We're only 8 minutes into this, so probably gonna throw that away because it doesn't work. The only reason I got it was for videos. Like, I don't want like a big ring light because I actually tried one of those once and my eyes are really sensitive to light and they are really bright. Like, it actually physically caused pain in my eye to look forward with a ring light in front of me. So, yeah. We'll just have to make do. Alright, next. What is my favorite myth from my tradition and why? Well, I don't have a particular tradition. I'm eclectic. I do follow some Egyptian gods, I follow some Greek gods, I follow some Norse gods. There are some interesting myths in all of them. Yeah, I'm not really that big on reading the myths, because a lot of times I don't feel like they're actually true. It's not, well, honestly, I don't feel like any of them are true because of the way I look at deity. I guess this will be a good time to explain this. I don't look at deities as being individuals that actually physically exist. That's not how I look at them. And I know there are people that look at them like that, and that's totally cool if that is your view. My view is that there is a power out there. Call it what you want. Call it the divine, the collective conscience, or whatever that term is that I don't know. Call it source, call it God, call it goddess, call it the universe, you know, whatever you're comfortable calling it. I feel like that source is in all of us. It's what makes us alive. It's our soul, so to speak. And I feel like our brains can't really understand what the source is, because it's everything. And so deities are like aspects, like archetypes of that source that allow us to connect with it in an easier way. Because we like to put things in categories and boxes and things. It's a kind of a human nature type thing. And so it's easier to understand Goddess of Love and Beauty, Aphrodite, and, you know, God of War, Ares, and all of this stuff than it is to understand that there's one source that's everything. So I think it just gives us a way of connecting with source in a way we understand better. And I do work with some deities or aspects of source from various pantheons. Anubis is one I work with a lot. Bast from Egyptian mythology. Aphrodite is one. Nyx, also from Greek mythology. There's quite a few I work with, but I just see them as aspects of the whole. And I feel like they can manifest themselves, you know, in various ways for you to see them as well. Like, I feel like source, let's call it that for these purposes, knows that we can't really comprehend what source is, so source shows itself to us in these various forms to give us a stronger connection, to help us understand better, all of that. So, that got off the topic of myths, but yeah. Alright. Number 17, what's my favorite? Sabbat or Sabbat? I've heard it pronounced both ways, and why. Halloween. Samhain. Halloween has always been my favorite, just like modern, well, not modern, but typical holiday, like of the normal holidays, you know, people go through. Halloween is my favorite. Other than that, mainly the equinoxes and solstices. So fall equinox, which is coming up, winter solstice, those would be like my next favorites. I don't follow the Sabbats that much because they are based on a world much different from ours. They're based on, you know, harvest time and planting and, you know, that sort of thing, when people had to watch for that kind of stuff and they had to hope for a good harvest because they'd have to make it through the winter, you know, with no food growing. So they'd have to harvest enough to make it through the season. So the Wheel of the Year, the Sabbats, are based on that. And I don't relate to that at all, because it's not the way our world is now. We don't have to worry about harvest time and planting and, you know, all of that now. There are some people, you know, there are farmers out there still, but it doesn't affect me. So the Sabbats I relate to the most are the ones I can relate to on another level. So Samhain, and then the seasonal changes, the equinoxes and solstices. So those are the ones that I really pay attention to. Number 18, do I change my altar for the seasons? No. First of all, I don't have that much stuff. to be changing my altar all the time. I change it as I feel. You know, I like to change things up, like I mentioned when I was talking about our furniture being moved around. My husband and I both like to do that kind of thing. And for the same reason, I like to move my altar around. My altar looks a little bit different than my last altar tour. Not much different, but a little different. I just change it up as I feel like I should. I don't have a lot of stuff to change it up with, but I have a few things here and there. Sorry, throat's getting dry. What pagan book am I reading now? What's it about? I'm not reading any books right now. The next one I plan to read is The Four Agreements. I have read it before, but it's been a while. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna read this again because it's been a while since I've read it. I don't even remember reading it before. I have a huge wish list of pagan and witch books on Amazon, like a huge, probably 50 books. Well, it might not be huge to some people, but I need money. Alright. Number 20, what divination methods do I use? Tarot and oracle cards. That's what I use the most. My eye itched. Swear, between allergies and my migraines, this video is going well. Alright, so mainly tarot and oracle. I have used a pendulum before. I don't have a pendulum right now though. I would like to get a black mirror for scrying. I know there's multiple ways to scry, but the black mirror appeals to me the most. I'd like to get one made of obsidian. I love obsidian, even though I don't own any right now. It is one of my favorite stones. Lenormand decks are on my radar. It's something I want to try. Runes are on my radar at some point. We'll see. Just whatever interests me. Not all divination methods interest me, obviously. Alright, and the last one we're going to talk about today is if I work with cards, what's my favorite deck and why? Well, my favorite deck is dependent on my mood. I have videos on my channel for all of my decks. There's actually a playlist called Deck Reviews, I think is what I named that playlist. Hang on and I'll tell you. Hang on. Deck walkthroughs and reviews. Wait, I only have 4 videos in that? I have 7 decks, though. Well, but I'm not going to review that one because I'm giving it to someone else, so that's 6. And I haven't reviewed that one yet, so that's 5. There still should be 5, not 4. I'll find the one that's not in it and add it to that playlist. My favorite decks, though, are the Mystic Dreamer Tarot, the Epic Tarot, and the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle, and the Witch's Oracle. So that's almost everything. The Fairy Forest Oracle I'm getting rid of. I've already found someone who wants it. And the other 2 I have, I like them. They're just not in my favorites, so. Alright. That's it for today. Next time we will do 22 to 30. Because it will be the 27th, which is close enough to the end of the month. I'm not going to do a separate video the next week just for 3 questions. Because it's supposed to be a question a day, you know. So like question number 21 is supposed to be answered on the 21st. Basically, if you're actually following it along, so whatever. Alright, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I will see you in my next video, and take care of yourselves. Bye.